here, first things first with Antoine Walker. Antoine, time now for Say What? Joel Embiid was booed by Sixer fans when the game started last night, but lauded when the game ended. Embiid embraced the response, poured in 26 points, 9 rebounds, but wait to hear what he said after the game. Say what?
I think the only natural first question for you, are you the hero or the villain tonight?
I'm always going to be both. You know, I'll start with my city. I love my city. You know, they've shown me a lot of love since I've been here. So, you know, we go through up and downs, and, you know, we learn from it, you know. So there's nothing more. We just, you know, playing with each other, just having fun. Like I said, I'm back to being a good sorry for cussing. But, you know, I'm just going to do my thing.
That's the Joel I love. The only thing he's done that to me undercuts all of this is, and I know it seems minor, that one Instagram reply to Jimmy Butler, which made it seem like he wants to go play for Miami. But he did that 36 hours ago. He just did that.
Yeah, I like that response. I wish he would just say, listen, I haven't been playing well. I understand the fans' beef. I'm going to start playing better. They've supported me all the way through my career. We'll get things back together. I wish he would just leave it at that. You don't want to get into that back and forth with the fans, I'm telling you.
Antoine, how hard is it as a player to be like, haven't been playing well, I know it's on me. It's hard when you're in it, right?
It is very hard, but he's also said, too, in his press conference that he hasn't been playing well. He hasn't been himself. So he knows, you know, guys know when they're playing well or not playing well. He can easily admit that.
Tom Brady can't, right, Nick?
Well, Tom Brady what?
Can't admit.
Oh, well, no. Brady's self-deprecating when he needs to be.
All right, guys, sticking with basketball, let's talk some Zion Williamson, shall we? Last night, the Pelicans got a true taste of their future. Pelicans beat the Blazers handily behind a career-high 31 points from Zion in 28 minutes of play, prompting Carmelo Anthony to say he can't even compare Zion to anyone he's ever seen. Here is Zion on his career night.
I expect to make an impact, but I don't expect to do nothing like this. Just kind of look to come in, just kind of fit in, just not try to mess up. But my teammates and coaches are always pushing me, saying no, like, be outside the box. At the end of the day, I'm 19. I have a lot of room for growing, so I will mess up. Not perfect. I will have bad games, but I'm just going to learn from them.
That is what I want to bottle. That, you know, I know I'm going to make an impact. I didn't realize it was this much. I'm only 19. I want to learn. I want to just bottle all of that sort of approach to how he's going to start his career. But when you look at what he's been able to do so far in, what, 9 games that he's played so far in the NBA, has he actually exceeded his sky-high expectations?
I think for most people he has. And to me, this is great. It's just perfect. Because I'm old enough to remember 3 weeks ago when the narrative was, Pelicans made the wrong pick, man. Ja Morant's going to be the best player because Zion hadn't played yet, and people couldn't be bothered to remember his annihilation of college basketball in his 1 year at Duke. And listen, Ja's awesome. Ja's carrying the Grizzlies potentially to the playoffs, which nobody saw coming, and credit to him. But, Antoine, right now today, if you were a GM and the whole league were available to you, contracts, forget contracts, it's just you get this player for the next 10 years. Giannis is the #1 pick in that circumstance. Zion and Luka, or Luka and Zion, are the next 2 guys off the board. He is, to me, already established that. He has already established that moving forward. He is a foundational superstar, and without projection, just right now, I don't know there's 25 better players in the league this moment. His efficiency is unbelievable. His ability to get to the rim at will is unbelievable. And he is just learning as he goes, and he still only had 1 bad game. So I thought he'd be 23-10 his rookie season, and he's projecting a little fewer rebounds, but points-wise right in that range. And this is exactly who he looked like he was going to be to me coming out of Duke.
I heard Melo say he couldn't really compare him to nobody after playing against him. I got a small sample size of the real Charles Barkley. I played against him his last 4 years when he was not the same, obviously. But he's the Charles Barkley of this era. If you really look at his body type, he's an undersized power forward. The way his ability, his athletic ability speaks for itself. his going one-on-one, coast-to-coast to be able to finish, to make the correct play. If you just watch Barkley highlights and look at his, it's pretty much the same. And Zion's probably more aggressive around the rim, probably a little bit more athletic than Charles as far as dunking on people and finishing the rim. But they're both the same type of players to me. I think if you look at the numbers, Barkley for his career was like 22 and 11. Zion is probably going to be a 20-10 guy his whole career as well. It's hard to say right now if he's the top 25 player. I want to get a little bit. I want to see a little bit more before I put him in that category, a top 25. But he'll be there very quickly. They made the right choice. He's a guy you can build around, and I hope they continue to put good pieces around him, because they got something special there. To lose Anthony Davis and to get a guy like this was huge for New Orleans. And if they got to make sure they get a good point guard around him, somebody can give him the ball, distribute. Don't make him do things that he doesn't have to do. He don't have to be Superman, because this efficiency goes out the roof. It's amazing how good he's around the basket.
And on the Barkley comparison, I don't think he'll ever be quite the rebounder Charles was, but I think he'll be a better defender. Charles was not a great defensive player. Zion, because of the athleticism and the instincts, has already shown, at least on weak side help defense, can be elite. And I think at some point on the ball defense, because his first step is so great, he can be an excellent on the ball defender. And he's a winning player. The Pelicans won 40% of their games he hasn't played in this year. They're 5-4 in the games he has played in, and that easily could be 7-2 if the first 2 games he played, he wasn't on that minutes restriction where they had to take him out and they weren't able to get a full game out of Zion. But as far as opening 9 games, can we show it? Let's show who Zion stacks up against as far as guys who have averaged at least 20 points on 50% shooting in their opening 9 games over the last 35 years. I mean, you've got...
It's a nice group.
I mean, that is an amazing group. And people might say Grant Hill, the young audience, Grant, before his ankles went out on him,
was top 3 player in the league.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And he came out of Duke polished.
Yes.
You know, he had more experience in college. Shaq, a phenom. David Robinson, phenom. Michael Jordan, one of the 3 greatest players of all time. What Zion's doing is, it's not unprecedented, but the people who have set the precedent are some of the greatest players we've ever seen.
Do you think everyone's on board? Do you think that that's sort of a unanimous, agreed upon sort of value to where Zion is right now? I mean, why isn't everybody on board on how good he is so quickly?
Well, I think everybody's worried about his conditioning and whether or not he's going to be in shape and be able to maintain. But he's 19 years old. I don't even worry about that. He'll get that. He'll figure that out. It's scary if he decides to go the other way and really focus in on his body, because the sky's the limit how good he can be then. But I'm fine with that. That's going to come. If he was able to play the whole season, he'll be in the best shape of his life. See him about another month from now. He'll be even better as long as he don't get hurt.
Conditioning doesn't bother you? Do any of the injuries bother you at all?
No, he's young. I mean, that happens. I mean, a guy like that with that athletic ability, he's going to have some knee problems because he plays above the rim. And that usually happens with guys that play above the rim. But I think he'll be fine.
Listen, Jen, I'm sure he just scored 31 points. So everyone who was saying Josh should have been the pick is now saying Zion, you know what I mean, might win Rookie of the Year. So I missed in the first half of the year. Some guys profile out. There are certain guys where the story, it's like, wow, didn't see that one coming, and those are great stories. But it's also a great story when it's like, oh, since he was 15 years old, he's supposed to be this. And he is becoming exactly that.
The LeBron story.
The LeBron story is the same story. It's like, oh, he was just bigger, stronger, and faster than everyone in high school. We saw the highlights, and we said he's going to be an awesome pro.
Right.
Zion had a year of college sandwiched in between, goes to Duke, is the 3rd best recruit in his own class, and then is the best player in college basketball, arguably the best season anyone has had since Durant at Texas. Like, some guys just profile out. He's that guy, and he's living up to those, if not exceeding those expectations.
And he's fun to watch.
Oh, God.
So fun
We need more high flyers in this shooting league. It's fun.
All right, take a break. Coming up, hey, is Tom Brady still an elite quarterback? Hear what Michael Irvin has to say about it next on First Things First.